Yeah, it went well. It was a good meeting. I mean, I think first and foremost, we should say from the club's perspective, we're delighted to have the support of the Fighting Fund in terms of some of our projects. The committee at the Fighting Fund have done a great job. They came to us and said, what would our wish list be from an academy perspective in terms of the plan that we have to develop youth players and push the academy on. And we spoke about many items, and one of the items that came out was the creation of a new facility, which I think has been labelled a stand, but I think there's so much more to it. And the purpose, I guess, of this interview and putting a message out to the supporters is to basically say that it's a football development reasons that we want this facility, not necessarily the seats in the stand, although that is something that's always an additional aspect of the project.
Yeah, and as you mentioned there, there's so much more to it. I mean, what are the additional aspects you'll be able to bring in? Yeah, well, we met with the Fighting Fund to start with. We have an issue here at the training ground that we've got 4 dressing rooms in the academy side, we've got 5 pitches, so anyone who does the maths says, well, 5 pitches, we need 10 dressing rooms. Now that then becomes quite restrictive in terms of the number of squads that we can have in here on any given night. So in the light nights, when we don't have floodlighting issues, we would love to have 8 squads in here training, which gives young Rangers players more contact time with the football more often, ultimately making them a better player. But we're restricted at the moment to the number of teams we can bring in as a consequence of that. I think the other aspect is, an important aspect, is child protection. At the moment we're having to change the kids in the indoor hall, change the kids in the press room when there's adults around, and it's not right and it's not appropriate for the kind of academy we want to become, particularly with our ambitious plans. So if we can get this new facility up and running, we'll get the kids in more often, it's a much better environment for them, and it certainly will benefit them as young footballers with more time with the football. As you mentioned there, with analysis becoming so much a big part of all levels of the academy, this can only be a benefit to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think on a Thursday, for example, we have our day release programme and we've got our mental skills coach who comes in, we've got the guys trying to do the analysis, there's a press conference on, and trying to find a room to actually sit one-on-one with a player to have a meeting is really difficult. So we've got office space in there that allows us to meet more regularly with the players, it allows the analysis guys to go and do the work that they do. And I think, again, that everything's got to be designed about moving the players on and making them better. I think if it was a cosmetic structure that was about a stand, I would never have supported it, I never have backed it. It's not about that, it's absolutely about football development and spending more time with the players in a better environment.
From the club's perspective, why would it be a good thing, and why is the money from the Fighting Fund not to be used, or not in your opinion to be used for other projects around the stadium?
I think, as Craig said, it excuse me, it leaves a terrific legacy. I think for our, funds that were raised when the club was in much more difficult times, and I think it gives the fans a long-lasting legacy that they can see the funds that have come into the Fans Fighting Fund are going to go to a very good use, and hopefully they'll be there to develop players for the future. I think, as Craig said, the facilities that will come with the stand, the changing rooms, the other offices, the referees' rooms, and even just the actual cover that will be there for the fans watching the under-20s games and under-17s games going forward. I think it just enhances what we've already got at Auchenhowie.
Yeah, some have maybe suggested that the money should be used for improvements to the stadium or a museum and things like that. Why do you think it's maybe not the right idea to use that?
I think the stand really leaves a terrific legacy, and I think the development of young players is so key to what we need to be doing going forward. It really is fundamental to the future of the club. So I think it's a great project for the funds to have gone to. In terms of what the other projects we need to do around the club, we obviously need to enhance the infrastructure of the club. We've said that a few times now. We need to improve the area around the club, even just beyond the stadium as well. You look at Edmiston House, you look at just the footprint of the stadium. And to that end, we're actually engaging with the other authorities like the council, the Glasgow Housing Association, the Health Service as well. We've had some meetings there to look at ways of taking the broader area around the stadium and enhancing that. And really, I think that's something that comes from the club. We should be doing and working in partnership and really taking the club, making the club a central part of the community.